Today I'll be discussing what it is that you need to get a WordPress site going for your business. In other words, covering any of the hidden costs of running a WordPress site. WordPress itself is free, but hosting it and using plugins, themes, and a whole bunch of other things are not free. And so they are important to know before you get started, or if you're interested in moving your site from one place to another, either to or from WordPress or to or from a WordPress host. First of all, my name is Joseph Dowdy, and I am an author of the book Electronic Word of Mouth. I am a former Santa Monica College Small Business Development Center consultant, where I worked with a number of clients to help them to use the internet to make their businesses work online profitably. I moved from Los Angeles up to Santa Barbara County and helped with the, well, as a matter of fact, I did launch the blog for brag.com, that is Brag Live Foods. I also implemented their social media program, Twitter, Facebook, etc. And I also was referred to them by Dan Pointer, who is the self-publishing guru. And I launched Dan Pointer's Global eBook Awards, which is an annual awards program for ebook authors. I set up the website. I was the program director for the contest. I also ran online contests for Brag. And so that is basically, a little bit about me, other than the fact that I run about over 50 WordPress sites for customers, small businesses, entrepreneurs, coaches, that sort of thing. And so I want to share this information with you because I think that you'll benefit from my own experience in selecting how to set up a WordPress site for yourself, so that you can do it profitably and have something that you're very proud of. So first of all, WordPress is the platform that runs 1 out of every 5 websites in the world. So that's like 20%. So WordPress itself, as I mentioned, is free, but there are a number of other things that you'd need in order to run WordPress properly, at least in the way that profitable websites do, that will cost money. Running a WordPress site is not rainbows and unicorns. It is the #1 hacking website target out there, as far as just generally websites that are targeted to be hacked are WordPress sites. And this means that WordPress is constantly being upgraded for security, not just WordPress itself, which there are a couple updates a year, but also the plugins, the themes, and a number of other things that go along with running those sites. So the things that I'll be discussing that have costs are hosting, themes, plugins, your SEO, which is search engine optimization, which allows you to be ranked higher on Google or Yahoo or Microsoft's Bing whenever somebody searches for your page or your site. Administration costs, training costs, migration costs, costs to set up, configure, and modify your WordPress site. So first of all, let's talk about hosting. You can get free WordPress hosting through WordPress.com. You can set up a blog, you can post to it, you can put a lot of content in there, and it will be free for you to use that way. Unfortunately, it is limited. You can't put whatever plugins you want on there. You can't put whatever themes you want on there. It just doesn't work that way. So if you want total freedom and you want to have a website that really rocks, well, then one of the things that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to consider going with the paid version of WordPress. In other words, the version that is free has those limitations, but if you want total freedom, unlimited constraints, then what you want to do is go with paid WordPress. Now, along with that freedom comes a lot of vulnerabilities, and those vulnerabilities are ones that have to do with compatibility, which will cause errors and things not to load properly on your site. It will cause your site to load slowly, and also makes you vulnerable to hacking. And so those vulnerabilities lead to outages, and those outages will make you less money over time. So that's what we're trying to avoid, is that there's like two sides to this, which is if you go with the free, then you're probably not going to have any problem with any outages, which is great, but you'll be limited in terms of what you can do. When you pay for WordPress hosting and plugins, themes, then you end up having a lot more things that are complex, and so those can lead to outages. And so what you want to do is invest enough money into what you're doing so that you don't have downtime. So let's look at the cost of hosting. I picked 4 different places where you can host for a particular reason. These are all 4 places that will provide you with help with WordPress itself. So in other words, if you have a problem that is directly WordPress related, these are all places where you can host your WordPress site, and they will help you if there is a problem with WordPress. Most hosts out there will provide a one-click installation, and then after that, you're on your own. If you have a WordPress problem, you can't just contact them and ask them to help you with it. So these are places that provide a best effort WordPress break-fix solution. So BlueHost is the first one that I chose. They are recommended by WordPress itself, and they run for 6 months, $47.70. LiquidWeb, another really great option, which you'll find various reasons why. I'll talk about them later, but they're a really great WordPress host, and they cost $89.70. WP Engine, WP is WordPress. WP Engine is $180 for 6 months. And with electronic word of mouth, which is my site, that's $249. So WordPress, as I mentioned, is free. There is no cost for hosting WordPress on any of these sites. But the cost of the hosting of the site itself is what costs money. So you don't have to pay for the WordPress software. Now, in order to deal with any problems that you might have with WordPress, if it breaks, you can contact any of these 24 hours a day through phone or by chat, where they will basically tell you that they want you to try to fix the problem. So in other words, if you tell them there's a specific error that you're getting or a specific condition that you're seeing that's causing a problem, maybe a white screen, or something like that, you can contact them by phone or by chat, and what they will do is they will probably send you a link to a knowledge base article to teach you, how to fix it. And they want you to try to fix it. Now, after you have tried to fix it, if you aren't able to, then they will open up a ticket and then they will try to fix it. And that can take hours and hours. So, I've had times when I have had to, report a specific problem with some of these hosts, and it will take days to get it fixed. It depends on how severe the problem is for them to act on it right away, which is unfortunate. Now, if you have my service with electronic word of mouth, I'll fix it for you right away. Now, you can't reach me 24 hours a day, but during normal business hours, in other words, when you're working, I'm working. So you just contact me by Facebook, and I'll fix it for you right away. No need to have a situation where it's like days and days and days where something will get fixed. So the other thing to know is that with regards to theme and plugin help, you will not get any help from BlueHost or LiquidWeb or WP Engine. But with me, yes, you will. I will be happy to fix any problems that you have with your themes or plugins. So let's talk about themes. So first of all, there are lots of themes that are out there. There are tens of thousands of themes, in fact. And the thing you should know is that if it's a free theme, that it's dangerous. The reason why is because a lot of hackers will put their code into that theme so that your site is compromised when you use their free theme. Another thing that people will do is they will put a link to their site so that if you use their theme, it will link back to them. And that's really great for them, and it's not really like malicious code, but advertising somebody else's service for free, it's a trade-off, but in general, it's not really considered to be a good practice for people to do that. The problem is that that sort of code will show up as being something that shouldn't be there. So you just want to know that if it's a free theme, it's probably dangerous. Now, the default theme offered by WordPress itself is free. So every year they put out a new default theme for WordPress, and it's free and it's not dangerous at all. But for the large part, free themes are dangerous. Paid themes are really great because they provide free support. So when you pay for the theme, it comes with that free support. You can usually get help with it through a forum system. So in other words, you pay for your subscription, it lasts for a year, you get to log into their site, you get to use their forums and ask for help. If somebody can help you with it, then they will do so. If you can't get help by somebody else, they will actually work to resolve the problem because it's their software and they should be aware of how to fix it. There's two types of paid themes out there. One is pre-designed themes and the other one is custom themes. So with the custom themes, it allows you to design a theme completely from scratch. Pre-designed themes, you can see what they look like, and then whenever you choose them to use them, then your site will look like that template. And unfortunately, a lot of times whenever you go and load that template up, it isn't going to look the way that they advertise it, and you have to work on customizing it to a point where it will look the way that you expect it to look. Pre-designed themes do allow you to, for example, change color schemes and to add or remove certain elements, but that's the two different types. And we'll go into that a little bit more here with the costs as far as what some of examples of them are. Now, this is three different types of themes. Woo themes, they provide a number of different themes, and you're basically paying for a subscription where you can use a number of them. Elegant themes, same thing. It's only $39 a year. You get access to, I think, over 50 themes. And they're really great themes. They're very popular among my customers, and I find that a lot of people really enjoy elegant themes. I think that they're better looking overall. Woo themes, there are a lot of popular themes that they have. If you've ever heard of Jonathan Register, he is an internet marketing guy, and he uses a variant of a Woo theme, which you can access as well if you want. You can, you know, it's not hard to get a hold of that theme. Same goes for Scotty Hobbs. If you've heard of Scotty Hobbs, he has an elegant theme. And then there's Headway Themes, which is the custom site maker theme. So it allows you to make a site from scratch. As far as cost goes, Woo themes cost $100 to join and $360 a year. They charge you a monthly fee so that you can keep their service. So you know, it's a little expensive if you ask me. The Elegant Themes is a much better deal for $39 a year. Headway Themes is really fantastic. They do provide 4 default themes that you can choose from, which are very nice. But you know, the point of getting it is usually customizing it the way that you want it. That's usually the reason why people would buy it. So the important thing to note is that BlueHost, LiquidWeb, WP Engine will not work with your theme. If you have any problems with the theme, they will not help you with them. Now, as far as electronic word of mouth goes, you get to use the different themes from Woo themes for free, Elegant Themes also, and Headway Themes. So you have your choice among those so that you can use them. And you know, it's free to use those themes, which is really great. So a word about plugins. Most plugins out there are free, and they're not so dangerous. Now, they can be a problem if they're not supported, because if you use it and it's causing an error or it's not working, then the person who authored that plugin, you know, may not be available to fix something that isn't working right. So it's important to know, if you're going to use a plugin, how long ago it was updated, and if it works with your current version of WordPress, and what kind of reputation the person who made that plugin has. So there, you basically need to apply the same sort of approach that you would if you were buying something from eBay. So if somebody is offering you a really great bargain on something, and they're a brand new eBay user and they don't get very good, feedback from their people who purchase from them, you want to stay away from them. The ones that you want to look for are the ones that have a good reputation, the ones that are active, they will respond to you, and those criteria are the same. As far as paid and premium plugins go, you can expect the same sort of support that you get with a paid or premium theme. For example, data forms. If you want to set up a data form, then you probably want to go with a paid or premium theme. The reason why is because if you rely on a particular data form plugin, you want to be able to use it year in and year out without changing anything. And if you ever run into any problems, then you want to have that kind of help available to fix it. That where if it's a paid theme, then you're going to get the help that you want. If it's a free plugin for data forms, you may not be able to get the help as quickly as you want. And data forms are useful for a number of things like signups, contact forms, subscriptions to MailChimp or Aweber, that sort of thing. Also, another example of a paid premium theme would be pop-ups. So you probably are familiar with like pop-up domination, really great theme. So here are some examples of the costs of paid themes. Formidable Pro, which I highly recommend for anybody out there. It's free to use, and the cost of support, if you choose to have that, is $47 a year. So that's a lot of support that you can get from it. You can ask for advice on how to do certain things, and they will respond to you and show you how, and provide examples and documentation, that sort of thing. And if you have problems with it, they will fix it. Pop-up domination, $97 a year. And another really great option for any business owner is to get a subscription to WPMU Dev. They have dozens and dozens of plugins, and they're geared towards websites that are for businesses. So for example, they have a pay with a like, Facebook like plugin. They have a snapshot plugin which allows you to do backups of your site. They have a WP for iPhone and for Android that basically allows you to create an app from your website, which can be published on for iPhone and for Droid. They also have an Ultimate Facebook plugin, which allows you to make comments using Facebook and also to share your page in a widget. It's a tight integration with Facebook. They also have it like a chat plugin, allows you to chat with people who visit your site. They have a Comments Plus plugin, which allows people to comment using authentication from Google Plus or Facebook or Twitter. And they have dozens and dozens of them. So, you're really getting a lot for the cost of it. Now, if you have BlueHost, LiquidWeb, or WP Engine, then you've got to pay for these plugins yourself. And if you use the electronic word of mouth service, you don't have to pay for them. What I do is I buy the licensing for multiple sites, for themes, and for plugins, and that's how I can make these available to my customers for free, because I basically just charge for hosting and everything else is free. What about SEO, search engine optimization? Well, you can go with a free plugin like WordPress SEO by Yoast. There are other free ones out there too, or you can use a paid one like the all-in-one SEO pack. However, as far as my money goes, I tell people that they should absolutely not go with a paid plugin. The reason why is because the WordPress SEO by Yoast plugin is just really great. It works fantastic. No need to pay for it. And so that's what I always tell people. Now, as far as SEO goes, you may be contacted by somebody saying, oh, we will manually do your SEO. But let me tell you something. You can get it done for free if you're using WordPress, and it works extremely well. SEO is not rocket science. The SEO plugin by Yoast will teach you how to do your own SEO, so you don't have to pay somebody. And there are lots of people who offer to do SEO for thousands of dollars each month. And it's the biggest scam ever, in my opinion. So what about administration costs? WordPress updates, plugin updates, theme updates. What happens if you update something and it breaks? You know, how are you going to handle those kinds of issues? Also, setting up your website through Google Webmaster Tools and setting it up with Google Analytics so that you can get an idea of how people find your site, what kind of behavior they have when you're on your site, what is your most popular pages or posts, what do people do whenever they get to your site, how long do they spend there, do they go to your home page and then leave right away, or do they go to your home page and then to a different page? These are things that are really important to you as a website owner, and you want to know what they are. So you got to have all of these things taken into consideration under administration. So what are the costs? So as far as the costs go for WordPress goes, it's free, and the support to do a lot of these things is included with BlueHost and with LiquidWeb and WP Engine, and also with electronic word of mouth. But plugin updates, no, they're not covered. Theme updates, no, they're not covered. BlueHost will also not set up your Google Analytics. They will also not set up your Webmaster Tools. Same goes for LiquidWeb and WP Engine. However, with my service, all of those things are included. What about training? Well, you can certainly spend a lot of time yourself learning. There's lots of free YouTube videos out there to learn most of the things that you need to know with WordPress. And then there are more advanced topics like, you know, how to identify your target market and that sort of thing. You can spend hours and hours and hundreds of dollars on each of these trainings that are out there. You can also get one-on-one training, like you could contact somebody through Elance or Odesk on how to, you know, work one-on-one with them and learn. You can also, you know, post an ad on Craigslist to find somebody to teach you how to use WordPress. And there are lots of things that it's just easier to have it done for you. So there may be one thing, like for example, setting up the Google Webmaster Tools, that it will probably take you a couple hours to learn how to do it, and then you'll never do it again. So is it really worth it to spend that time to learn how to do something that you could just pay somebody? You know, you could probably pay somebody on Fiverr.com and get it done for $5. It's not like it's really that complicated as far as setting it up goes. So what about the cost? What does it cost to do those things? For first of all, web-based video training, the costs vary. So if you have BlueHost or LiquidWeb or WP Engine, the cost for web-based video training that you'll find on different topics, it varies wildly. Sometimes it's hundreds. I've seen some of them that are thousands of dollars. What about one-on-one training? Well, same thing goes. You go to Elance or Odesk or Craigslist, and who knows how much you're going to spend. What if you just wanted to have something done for you that instead of learning how to do it, you just pay somebody because it's only going to be something you'll do once in your whole life? Well, same goes. The same is that you go to Elance or Odesk or maybe Craigslist and pay somebody to do it. With electronic word of mouth, all that's done for you. We provide web-based video training. I do one-on-one training with each customer. I set up an hour video training call. We work over the internet together. I will teach you how to use WordPress in an hour. And then I set up a separate session to teach you how to do your own SEO using the WordPress SEO by Yoast plugin. So I will show you how to do the two most important things, one, using WordPress, and two, SEO, on a one-on-one training call. And I also do weekly webinars as well. This particular PowerPoint presentation is one of the webinars that I did, which will teach you a lot of things. And also the whole thing about having something done for you instead of learning how to do it, if it's only something you're going to only do once in your life, I do those things too. That's all included. What about migration? So let's say that you have a WordPress site set up on WordPress.com and you want to migrate it over to a new WordPress, or you want to migrate from, you know, my service to another host if you want to do everything yourself. Well, migration is free. It doesn't cost anything. you can migrate either from the paid version or the free version of WordPress. You can also migrate from Blogger. You can also migrate from a lot of other blogging platforms as well. It's not really, it's simple, but it's not always easy. 1 out of every 10 migrations that I have done is like a disaster, and it ends up being something you have to copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. I had one customer that it took me, and I'm fast, it took me 40 hours of time to manually do the migration, and it was just crazy. But it does happen, and no matter what I tried, I wasn't able to get it to work automatically, and that's just the breaks of the game sometimes. So what about the cost of doing that? Now, one thing that's really great is that, you know, these, besides having the instructions for free from BlueHost or LiquidWeb or WP Engine or myself, LiquidWeb will do the migration for you. So that's an expense that, you know, they're willing to, you know, take care of themselves so that they can have you as a customer. And it's really great. It's free. WP Engine will not do the migration for you, but they do have a company that they recommend that will do a migration for you for $500. BlueHost will not do a migration for you, and they won't recommend anybody in particular to do a migration. With electronic word of mouth, I'll do the migration for you, and I will not charge you for that. So let's talk a little bit about theme setup. So the thing you should know is that themes come in a spectrum of customization. Some very little customization, and they're largely just cookie cutter sites. So for example, if you wanted to put your picture on the top of your website, which will, by the way, increase your customer interaction, people who visit your site are more likely to buy from you if you have your picture up on your site. Those cookie cutter sites that don't even allow you to put up your picture, those are really bad. They're bad for business. The more customization, the better. Some themes will allow you to change the colors, which is really great, and others will allow you to add or remove certain features such as sliders. If you ever see those carousels where the image changes, it either fades or moves across the screen, you know, that thing, that's really good. Now, if you had a theme that allows you to do something completely from scratch, well, that's really the best thing to do. That way you know that whenever somebody comes to your site that they've never seen a site like yours, and they're bound to get something that is more customized to who they are and who you are, what it is that you have to offer, like you are the unique solution for them. And what about configuration? So after you've got it set up, you can either configure or modify the theme. Now, configuration is where you may add or remove certain things to your theme up to a point. When you get to a point where a change that you make can be overwritten by an upgrade of the theme, then you've basically reached what I call point of no return, meaning that it is a modification that will be lost when they make an upgrade. So you have to be very careful sometimes with regards to those modifications. And the upgrades can be frequent. So let's say that you know what change you made, what modification you made, you'll have to do that over and over each time that there's an upgrade. It's just important to take it into consideration. So as far as the configuration, modification, setup of different different themes, like Woo themes, elegant themes, headway themes, you'd have to go to Odesk or Elance and have somebody, you know, do these kinds of modifications for you if you don't do them yourself. By the way, headway themes doesn't have a point of no return. All modifications are kept intact whenever you make an upgrade. And the technical reason, by the way, is that all the changes are in the database instead of in the files. If you know what that means, then that's good, because whenever the themes are updated, often they change the files, but they don't change what's in the database. So they don't have a point of no return. Headway themes are far superior for that reason alone. But the same is true for each. Making those changes, you have to hire somebody to do it if you don't do it yourself. With electronic word of mouth, it's free. It's all included. So here's a cost recap of all the things that we've talked about before with BlueHost, LiquidWeb, WP Engine, and electronic word of mouth. So let's take a look at the cost of customizing a site. If you wanted a custom site, so here are your expenses. With BlueHost, if you use the theme like Headway, it would be $59 for just the theme license. Same goes for LiquidWeb and WP Engine. With electronic word of mouth, it's free because you get to share the license with me, so it's free. Let's say that during the year you had 20 hours worth of setting up the site and making, changes to the site design during the year. Let's say 20 hours. Well, at $50 an hour, which would be very reasonable, it would be $1,000. So you're looking at, $1,000 as a good example. So, but it's unknown though, how much it will actually cost to hire somebody to make a site from scratch. I have seen services that will just charge a flat rate of $5,000, and there are companies out there that will charge much more than that. But with electronic word of mouth, if you're on a 6-month contract, it's only $100. So that's a pretty good deal. I will do those things for you because, number one, I really enjoy making themes, and I also really like making my customers happy. Now, one thing that's really great about my service is that you don't pay a dime until the site is made. So if you tell me about what you want on the site, I will make the site, and then you don't pay anything in advance. You only pay when you love the site. What about follow-ups or any breaks, any things that break or fix or that you need to fix, or any updates and upgrades down the road? Same goes with Elance and Odesk. You have to hire somebody to do those sort of things. With my service, it's free. Total cost $100 for 6 months with my service. Who knows how much it would cost to have somebody else do those sort of things for you. Let's look at number one, unknown and known costs. Unknown costs: break fixes. Something breaks, you got to fix it. How much does it cost? It's unknown. Upgrades: how much does it cost to upgrade your template site? What if it causes a conflict? What if there's an error? What if you get a white screen? What about backups? What about training costs? All these things are completely unknown if you use BlueHost, LiquidWeb, or WP Engine. With electronic word of mouth, it's free, 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 free. Let's take a look at the known costs, ones that you can identify specifically, working with BlueHost, LiquidWeb, WP Engine, and electronic word of mouth. Hosting with BlueHost is $47.70 for 6 months. LiquidWeb is $89.70 for 6 months. WP Engine, $180. Electronic word of mouth, $249. Then again, my service includes all those extras that are totally unknown how much they will cost. They're covered for free with mine. Elegant Themes, as an example of a theme that you'll pay for, $39 for a year. BlueHost, LiquidWeb, WP Engine, same cost, $39. With electronic word of mouth, it's free. Forms program, same sort of thing. Formidable Pro, $47 a year. Pop-up domination, $97 a year. If you look at the total 6-month cost, with BlueHost, $230.70. LiquidWeb, $272.70. WP Engine, $363. And with electronic word of mouth, flat rate, $249 for 6 months. And here's another cost comparison, including WPMU Dev subscription. So as you can see, with BlueHost, $818.70, all else being equal, $860.70 for LiquidWeb, $951 for WP Engine, with electronic word of mouth, $249. So how does it work? If you wanted to get a site set up with BlueHost, first you would pay for hosting. Then you would plan and gather your data, and then you would use that to set up and design your site. Same goes for LiquidWeb, same goes for WP Engine. With electronic word of mouth, we do it the other way, which is you don't pay first. First, we plan and gather information. You'll give me the information I need to then go to step 2, which is to set up and design the site. If you love the site, then you go to step 3, which is you pay for hosting. All those plugins, themes, all that support, all the training, all of those other things are included in that one cost for hosting. If you have any questions, just reach me at electronicwordofmouth.com. I have a way for you to contact me via form and also via pop-up. Thank you very much for your time.